yes. Miyazaki, just because I'm offered the ability to talk to a woman doesn't mean I'm going to take it.
How's it going, people? Jack here. So today I'll be reacting to yet another upload, an actual recent one by SsethTzeentach. And I know some have requested that I check out the one on the CEO of Monkey, but not quite yet, for we have to check out Elden Ring. Yeah, that soundtrack never disappoints. I'm actually kind of surprised that we got a review of this one and not something absolutely crazy. Because, you know, as of late, well, at least from the ones that I've checked, Seth has gone through a lot more retro games, or at least one that requires you to have an exorbitant amount of other things installed to run them, like Windows -9. And if not, they are supposed to be like very complicated. Like, for example, I was recommended a video on High Fleet, which I have not checked yet, but that game, do not touch, right? That it's cancer. It perhaps just me, but I can't do with games that have that type of interface. If your role or your goal is supposed to make me have the feeling of an actual pilot, or no, miss me with that, please. But without further ado, let us jump into the review.
Hey people, Seth here. The following is highly experimental and may come off as disjointed or schizophrenic. I don't care. Elden Ring, the newest hot release by Hideo Miyazaki of Ghibli Studios, famous for classic animations such as Howl's Moving Mausoleum and My Invader Totoro. From Software have really outdone themselves, as this game features not one, but
Crabs.
2 crustaceans, possibly even more. Unfortunately, I haven't unlocked the ability to swim, so I cannot confirm or deny that. The game begins, and I make my character. His name, Sambubu. His class, naturally, is wretched. I did originally consider prisoner, but I chose not to. I take the key as my starting item, and live to regret it after I get immediate access to a side dungeon and get run over repeatedly by a speeding train.
I like how his character is built like a more fit version of Too Mad. Like, seriously, just that body type.
I chose instead to go the other way. After camping a few times, Melina comes by and offers me an accord. I turn it down because I think it's funny. I then proceed to kill Morgott and Godric
Dumbass.
before I realize I haven't leveled up. How was I supposed to know I had to say yes? Miyazaki, just because I'm offered the ability to talk to a woman doesn't mean I'm going to take it. I think that's a symptom of bad design. Conversely, I fell for the oldest trick in the book, the warm embrace of a woman's lap.
Thea is literally the meme of when women cry, when men cry. Like, I finally make it to the roundtable hall, have a conversation with a pimp named D. Go to that room and I see her. She calls me champion, and, you know, meant needing warm embrace. I engage in that, and since I'm a freaking champion, I ask for seconds. And then she tells me that she's a deathbed companion.
I beg your pardon?
Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks.
You know, those ladies who sleep with dead corpses as seen in the intro of the game? I was like, no, red flag.
Only to find out 100 hours later, it's actually a debuff. What do they mean by this? I guess I'll have to consult a 40-minute lore video to figure out the true symbology behind
well,
this item
if you continue the quest, though.
Passive storytelling at its very best.
A personal one,
especially
it becomes
when
good.
Characters either disappear, die, or start T-posing during your playthrough. This might bother people. People who believe there's a story, which is the equivalent of finding a bunch of random notes and thinking to yourself, damn, that book was wild. Halo's plot is crazy. Have you not read all the secret terminals? On the bright side, Dark Souls lore channels now have a steady source of bread for the next 4 years. I assure you, you'll know every side character better than your own family. I don't remember which war Granddad was fighting, but I do know Patches. I know that canonically he is circumcised. Honestly, I don't judge. I still get to have my wife Ronnie. What I'm criticizing is the involvement of this fat fuck. Celebrated offer, helping to weave the narrative experience.
Oh
okay,
no.
Let's see what this dude wrote. Sunset found her squatting in the grass, groaning. Every stool was looser than the one before and smelled fouler. By the time she came up, she was shitting brown water. The more she drank, the more she shat. But the more she shat, the thirstier she grew. And her thirst sent her crawling to the stream to suck up more water.
Jesus.
You've got to be kidding me. Look, I know that Seth has a tendency of memeing a lot. Like, okay, I guess this is true. Look, I've managed to get through this life of mine without reading any of the Game of Thrones books. Why? Well, because it never was a prerequisite for anything, but hanging out with the people that I hung out with, it was weird companies. But like, there's one quote that I actually remember from this book that was given to me since I'm a Batman fan. Prepare yourself for this one. Men call me Darkstar. I am the night. That is the dumbest thing that I've ever heard. But yeah, there's a character in there, which name I can't remember, but I think, yeah, he's Darkstar, but they call himself the Knight. He's basically Batman. So, Grr Martin, great writer.
I rest my case. J.R.R. Martin is the greatest author who has ever lived. He has also never finished his books. And so, fittingly, From Software has embodied the spirit of J.R.R. Martin by never finishing a single quest line. Elden Ring is an ambitious platformer, and if you disagree, you haven't played the game, because half this game is jumping with a head start, or falling into a hole, into a canyon, into the place you originally wanted to, but accidentally jumped before doing so, adding an extra foot to the height of your fall, which turned it into a lethal descent. There's nothing I love more than jumping awkwardly off rooftops. But, how do we spice it up? Archers. You love archers. And they've got tracking. And
Yo, how about the mages? Who? How about the rare Lucaria mages waiting to snipe you, doing the Pelosi there in the background, checking out behind every single walls as you respawn? And they're ready to take you down before you get your runes.
guess what? The sewer levels are back, and this time, they're essential to the plot. Yeah. I'm thinking game of the year. Calling the mountain your game, Torrent. Absolute genius. So, anybody Googling Elden Ring Torrent gets a bunch of horse pictures instead. I can't wait until Elden Ring 2 features the popular and beloved character Codex de Nuvo pre-cracked no virus. But, why are we here?
Oh, wait, I gotta take another screenshot.
No.
We're here for the difficulty because we're hardcore gamers. Take it from me. I've already beaten the final boss, John Elden Ring, so I can give a few pointers. Have you ever used a weapon, armor, fast travel, potions, or opened the world map? I'm sorry to say, but you're playing the game wrong. This game is meant to be played level 1 as a wretch, using a single club, no upgrades. If you disagree, I'll call you a casual. If you ever hear someone talking like this, take pity on them, because this behavior is characteristic of someone who stacks no paper and gets no bitches. This game isn't hard, not because it's not hard, but because video games
ladies
aren't hard. You know what's hard?
Where you don't get any ladies. As Margaret would say, ladies' foolish ambitions to rest. God damn it, I'm funny. Come on.
The circumstances of life, getting a degree, having a stable family, being born with a baby arm. You're born and one arm develops normally into an adult arm, but the other is this stunted mini child arm, which stops growing at like 3 years of age. So you're this freakish monstrosity. You'll be known around town as Baby Arm Man, and the only job you'll ever have is baby arm stock photo, because it's harder for them to get a kid to pose for that.
And Seth was studying medicine, by the way.
Malformed monstrosity on standby. Furthermore, I genuinely believe that pattern recognition is a form of cheating. Your Homo sapiens brain is literally destroying the difficulty of the experience by compensatory adaptation. I hope that people consider this in the future and later learn to recognize that the truest From Software experience would be a lobotomite run, where prior to playing, we perform a frontal lobotomy and sever your prefrontal cortex. Sometimes, the only option you have to preserve the purity of your experience is brain damage. Multiplayer enhances the experience. Sometimes you'll see white phantoms briefly appear. These are players from other worlds going through their own journey. Once, I saw a white phantom appear, teabagging a dead NPC. In this moment, I knew I was playing a masterpiece. Messages and appraisal are exactly how Reddit users believe
touch
karma
grass.
works. You upvote, and you get actual physical nourishment from the karma. Oh look, a message on the floor. Maybe someone out there will tell me something useful. Then you open it and read it, only to see dog butthole, closely followed by Fortnite. According to a true story, once upon a time, Miyazaki's car broke down in the middle of a road. This was during winter, so no help was to be found, when suddenly 3 strangers appeared out of nowhere,
Right.
tipped him off, and left without even saying a word. And that's how Miyazaki got the inspiration for Souls multiplayer. Gameplay, flawless, stunning, effervescent. Just like Bloodborne was a complex allegory for sexually transmitted HIV, Elden Ring is a rich synesthesia between seeing Swampland and remembering Blighttown, or hearing Leyendell long after you've left the capital, because my ears are still ringing from the sound of those fucking trumpets. Actual real critique, no jokes, no giggles. I think every boss should have a stake of America outside the boss room. Generally, this is true, but sometimes I gotta walk. And traditionally, I do not consider cardio as part of a boss fight.
But I
Now,
mean,
walks are more
it
generous
can be
than
a
any
part
other
of it.
Souls game. But just because somebody chose to take a smaller shit in my rice doesn't change the fact that it's still there. Inside my bowl, steaming up my Tupperware. I would also have originally said that the death screen is quite long, but then I realized it's working as intended. You see, when you die in PvP, you have no option but to watch helplessly as someone spams point down and repeatedly defiles your dead body. My complaints are pretty mild. If, like me, you didn't realize Vigor has a non-linear scaling, it would have helped immensely to know that going 10 to 20 makes no tangible difference, but 20 to 40 is all the difference between taking a blow and getting one-tapped by most of the game. I wish I knew that at the start. Luckily, this game is very generous with its ability to re-roll your character. If you're still paranoid, you can back up your save at no risk. I've done this more than 100 times without issue,
And that's why I'm stupid. Never thought of that.
and recommend you do the same, because despite what anybody says, there's a million ways to brick your save. I've done it, I can reproduce it, it's still there. Also, easy anti-cheat is a very good anti-cheat because it's very easy to turn off. My friend may have done exactly that, and more. Tell me, Seth, was he punished? Is he banned? No, some of the later fights have interesting hitboxes. Not like I care. I cheesed through that shit. This game makes you realize the greatest companion you'll ever have is yourself. So,
Yeah.
why not make a copy? Lore. Before continuing, we have to
Oh,
stop
no.
and talk about the best character in the game. Dung Eater. Loathsome Dung Eater. Ferocious feaster of feces. Devious doo-doo devourer. Dung Eater consumes excrement, feces, shit even. Nihilistic and with a wicked sense of humor. His
He
greatest
nasty.
desire is to eat the poo-poo and, of course, murder you and defile your dead body. I think there's a lot we can learn from Dung Eater, but as a society, we're not yet ready for that conversation. Builds. There's many builds. Strength is terrible until you realize you can power stance through the entire game and block everything else with barricade shield for 0 stamina.
Everybody
Good
cosplaying
strength,
as Gus.
unfortunately, puts you at the highest risk group for naming yourself the Black Swordsman and cosplaying as your favorite slice of life anime. If I see you doing this, I'll summon you intentionally so I can kick you for my world. Dexterity. Do you enjoy katanas? How about double katanas? Each one
Rivers of
longer than
blood.
the last. Using realistic, historically accurate sword techniques from feudal era Japan? What about epic PvP compilation?
Yeah.
Say no more. Get a river of blood today. Intelligence. Some would say a great deal of their enjoyment comes from learning the moveset of every boss. A rhythmic dance between sword, swipe, and parry. A lethal symphony silenced only by death. Others would disagree. I'm confident that if you ask any player running sorcery what's their favorite boss, they'll recoil in surprise and say, I don't know any. I just sit at the back and spam Azure Comet. Faith incantations are very good. Abusing the animation of Catch Flame to cast them instantaneously
I didn't get
is even
that.
better. And before you say it, I know. It's working exactly as intended. You know what else is intended? This. Also, this and this. My greatest enjoyment of this game, beyond the exploration, the richness of the graphics, and the scale of the world they made, has been abusing every mechanic I possibly can.
But of
before
course.
it gets patched out. And so, inevitably, I have taken to abusing other players. You might call them humans. I call them people who use Moonveil unironically. And thus, I feel no remorse for any of my actions. In summary, Elden Ring
Yeah, might have
attracts
been me.
many different responses. Some fillet the long shaft of FromSoft endlessly. Others
Bars.
because of their own incompetence. Walking manifestations of the Dunning-Kruger effect, these people believe that failure is not their own and somehow inflicted upon them by the universe. You can't be bad at video games, as video games are merely a subject matter. No, that is a deficit in your cognitive ability, something that likely plagues you in every aspect of your life. In summary, if you're bad at video games, you're bad at life. You've got a smooth brain and a low IQ. Your fate is to be a grunt in the New World Order. And then there's others, like me, who are quietly waking up to the fact that maybe we should have never dropped those bombs to begin with. I guess what I'm trying to say is Elden Scrolls 10 out of 10 garbage. I love it. As always, more content to come, so stay tuned. If you're interested in some merchant multiplayer, password FUGHUNT goes in all fields. First 52 invade get a 15% off their first month of FUGHunters.com, the official sponsor of this video.
Why do I have the idea that Thug Hunter is a nasty website? I'm not looking that up.
And now, allow me to conclude this presentation.
We know Seth, like under normal circumstances, he would have dared to put at least like a blurred picture of it. That's not the case.
With some calming visuals, rest assured, most of the things seen here can no longer be afflicted on another human being. A warm thanks to the many members of a Merchants Guild generously funding and bankrolling these videos. You're all truly wonderful. Have a good one.
Nice.
Chill. Get out of here with that shit, man.
Incantation bills are the best.
Yeah. All right. All right. That's yep. That's all I needed, baby.
It's amazing.
Calling Hideo Miyazaki at 3 a.m.
Oh no.
Hello?
Who is he calling?
Hello? Hello? Hideo Miyazaki?
Who was that? Just calling some random Chinese man out of nowhere. Come on, dude. But yeah, that was a beautiful review of it. Like, I guess just like Elden Ring, you won't exactly get the story of it all. It's kind of complicated, especially because you don't just get it on the silver platter, right? Most of the entries... Oh, not completely true, but you need to find the NPCs that can tell you the full stories of everything, or you can just read through the item descriptions, as every normie does, of course, right? You don't? Oh shit. But yeah, wonderful video by Seth, and thank him so much for allowing me to react to this. And guys, if you like this video, you know what to do. Hit that like and or subscribe button. And also, if you're not yet subscribed to Seth's channel, please go and do so. He has quality content. With that said though, I wish you all to have a wonderful day. See you guys next one. Bye.
Raindrops, drop top, smoking, no cooking, the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Cooking up dope in the crock pot. My bitch is bad and